Hello students, how are you all? Hope you all are fine. So today we are going to begin with another unit, Unit 3.1, The Plate of Gold by James Henry Lee Hunt. Kindly review your textbook, page number 57. Now the plate of gold, in this, the poet, he is conveying us the message that how a person should be. A plate of the gold was once found in a temple which carried a message that it had to be given as a gift to the most virtuous person. Various people visited the temple, of which they were awarded with a gift by the priest, assuming they were very virtuous. Sadly, the gift turned into lead. The poor people who came to the temple were given gifts by the people, all in desire to win the gift of God. However, none of them stopped and took time to comfort the poor. But later on, after 2 years, a peasant came to the temple and he happened to meet a blind beggar. He was unaware of the gift of God and immediately at the sight of the beggar began to comfort him, saying that God would take good care of him. The priest gave away the gift of God to the peasant. This time, the gift did not turn to lead like before. The peasant was grateful to God and thanked him from his heart for the gift. The poem conveys the message that reaching out to the poor and helping the needy person, but the unconditional love, compassion, if we are full of compassion and we have unconditional love, it is the highest offering to the God. So let's see what message is there and what the poet is trying to convey the message. One day there fell in great Banaras temple court a wondrous plate of gold, whereon these words were written to him who loved best, a gift from heaven. Thereat the priest made proclamation, at the midday hour each day let those assemble who for virtue deem their right to the heaven's gift, and the best we will hear the deeds of the mercy done, and so adjudge. Now the news ran swift as light, and soon from every quarter came nobles and munshis, hermits, scholars, holy men, and all renowned for the gracious or the splendid deeds. Meanwhile, the priest in the solemn council sat and heard what each had done to merit best the gift of heaven. For a year, the claimants came and went. So in this stanza, you can call it, because here we don't have any particular rhyme scheme as such. So here, in this particular extract, the poet is trying to tell us that a wonderful plate of gold was found in the temple of Banaras. It carried a message that whoever loved God the most would be the owner of the plate. People from all the walks of life, like munshis, hermits, scholars, holy men, and many renowned men assembled in the temple to try their luck. Meanwhile, the priest sat and heard what each one had done to become eligible for the gift of God. At last, after hearing their stories, the priest presented the gift to a man who had parted with his whole wealth among the poor. This man was extremely overjoyed to receive the precious gift of God. However, sadly, as soon as the man accepted the gift, it turned into lead. Everyone was surprised by the incident, and when the man threw the gift to the floor, it again changed to the gold again. So at last, after a patient weighing of the worth of all, the priest bestowed the plate of the gold on one who seemed the largest lover of the race, whose whole estate within the year had been parted among the poor. This man, all trembling with his joy, advanced to take the golden plate, when oh, at his fingers' first touch, it changed into basest lead. All stood aghast. Everyone was surprised. Everyone was shocked that exactly what is happening. But when the hapless claimant, he was unfortunate, he came, claimant dropped it, changing to the floor. Heaven's guerdon was again transformed to shining gold. That means the reward was again transformed into shining gold. So far, another 12 months sat he priest and judge, thrice they awarded, thrice his heaven refused the gift. Meanwhile, a host of the poor, maimed beggars in the street, maimed means they are permanently, they are beggars. In the street, all lay about the temple gate in hope to move that love whereby each claimant hoped to win the gift. So, thrice the plate was awarded to people, but every time it turned to lead. The beggars in the streets were waiting eagerly for the huge sums as the alms, as they were very well knew that the people would donate generously in order to get the gift. Now here, though many people donated generously, they did not say a word of comfort to the poor or even turn back to even to look at the conditions how they were. So, and well, for them it was, if gold be some sort of charity, for every pilgrim to the temple gate praised God, that love might thus approve itself before the test. So coins rained freely in the outstretched hands, but none of those who gave so much as turned to look into the poor and sad eyes of them they begged. And now the second year had almost passed, but still the plate of gold by whomsoever touched it was turned to lead. At length there came a simple peasant, not aware of the strange contest for the gift of God, to pay a vow within the temple. As he passed along, a line of shriveled beggars, though they were wrinkled, they were dried up. So such beggars came, and all his soul was moved within him to sweet pity, and the tears welled up and trembled in the eyes. Now by the temple gate there lay a poor, sore creature, blind and shunned by all. He was left alone, he was rejected by all. But when the peasant came and saw the sightless face and trembling maimed hands, he could not pass, but knelt and took both palms in his hand and softly said, O thou, my brother, bear thy troubles bravely, God is good. When he arose and walked straight away across the court and entered where they wrangled of the deeds of the love before the priest. Wrangle means everybody who had donated, they started arguing that we are only the person who are eligible for taking this gift of God. So here we see what that at last the temple was visited by a poor peasant who was not at all aware of the gift of the God, but his heart was moved with sorrow and the sight of the beggars, and his eyes were filled up with tears. When he saw the blind beggar, he bent down to comfort him and asked him to bear all his troubles bravely, and told him that God would surely bless him. He had a compassionate love, and he was very, very empathetic. So in the concluding extract, a while he listened sadly and had turned away, but something moved the priest who held the plate of the gold to call to the peasant. Beckon means call. So he came, not understanding, and obeyed, and stretched his hands and took the sacred vessel. Lo, it shone with rise of the former luster. Means it began to shine and amaze them all. Son, cried the priest, rejoice, the gift of the God is thine, it is yours. Thou lovest best. And all made answer, it is well, and one by one departed, but the peasant knelt and prayed, bowing his head above the golden plate, while over his soul like morning streamed the love of God. Now in this concluding extract, we find that the priest was truly moved by the attitude of the peasant and decided to give him away the gift of God to him. But something different happened this time. Instead of turning to lead, the plate of the gold shone 5 times more than its original shine. Everyone present there was amazed by the sight, and the priest told him that the gift of the god now belonged to him, as he was a comfort to the blind beggar, and also shown him the aim that he had lot of love also for the beggar. The peasant was very grateful to God for what he received from the priest, and knelt down and prayed and received the love and the grace of the God in form of the gift. So in this poem, is a message given by the poet, he is trying to tell us that our life on the earth can become heavenly if we go about doing little deeds of kindness and speaking kindly to everyone. So your little deeds of kindness and even speaking kindly with everyone, it is also a service to humanity and also service to God. So I hope you have understood this poem very well. Now in this poem we have antonyms and we also have some poetic devices. For example, we have figures of speech. Now in figures of speech, a wondrous plate of gold whereon these words were written. That means here it is alliteration is there, and then you find the news ran as swift as light. So it is simile because the fast spreading news is compared to light. And the priest in Solomon council sat. So here we find that there are only few figures of speech, the alliteration, simile, and at the end also he is asking you a question that do you feel that the peasant deserve the plate of the gold? What do you think? So in this manner, just by doing the small little things. Now, as a good human being, it is always wise to live with the compassion of others. The more we show love and affection towards our fellow beings, we will be able to experience the grace, love, and the blessing of God. So let us remember, service to humanity is service to God. So I hope you all have understood the poem very well. Thank you, children, and God bless you all. And if you like my educational video, kindly share, like, and subscribe. Thank you once again. God bless you all.